Hello, dear viewers, and mostly welcome to this program, The International Sphere. And today, I'm joined by my two guests who are all coming from the Merck Foundation. To begin with, I have the Professor Frank Stangenberg-Haverkamp, the Chairman of Merck Foundation Board of Trustees. And of course, I'm also joined by Senator Dr. Rasha Kelej, who is the Chief Executive Officer of Merck Foundation. And thank you very much for joining us. Well, just to begin our discussion, for the benefit of our viewers, kindly give a brief information on what Merck Foundation stands for.
Merck Foundation stands for bettering the life of people in different parts of the world, mainly, of course, in developing countries. And it is, if you like, the benevolent arm of the Merck Group, which is a big pharmaceutical chemical group operating nationwide and also internationally in 68 different countries. So, what we want to do, because that is a family company, and I'm part of that family, and we want to give back to society. And our special tool to do this is the Merck Foundation. And we were very lucky when we founded it in 2012. It started with the idea that we found Dr. Rasha to work on it and to make it work and to put life into it. And of course, we've done quite a journey now for the last 12 years, and I think a very successful journey indeed. If you look at it here, that alone in Tanzania, we've done 62 scholarships for doctors. It means we ask doctors to get further qualified for certain areas they have no qualification for before, so like oncology, diabetes, and so on. So we are very active. The other leg of it, of course, is to look after women, help young girls, particularly in the Minsk area, in schools, and pay school fees and try to give them a good education, but also mothers, to support them in their way in society, and of course, very important, women who can't get children, who are always stigmatized, particularly in the African societies, to help them overcome that. And of course, it goes with it, there's a lot of educational work, but I think Dr. Rasha will come to that in more detail, to help to enlighten the population, particularly the rural population, how to do the right things when it comes to preventing diabetes, not getting unwanted pregnancies, and so on, and how to behave if somebody can't get children, but also incorporate them into their society. So a lot of things we try to help with this Merck Foundation. So it's less of drilling wells. This is also the scheme for benevolent work in Africa, but it's more really to care about people and the focus on doctors and on women.
You are both here in the country. I understand this is just a preliminary of your trip here in the country. This is a big conference.
Our annual conference is going to be held under the patronage of Her Excellency, the President of Tanzania, and in the presence of more than 18 First Ladies from Africa, who also are ambassadors of Merck Foundation More Than a Mother. And when I say ambassadors of Merck Foundation More Than a Mother, they mean that they are working with us and long-standing partnership and commitment from our side to each country to break the stigma of fertility and support girls' education and also empower women and of course work on all the awareness, community awareness that we are talking about, which is starting from prevention and early detection of diseases like diabetes and hypertension, promoting healthy lifestyle, but also ending child marriage, supporting girls' education, stopping FGM and gender-based violence, and so on. So in this Luminary, it's going to be our annual conference, which is the 11th edition. We had 10 other editions, the previous edition, which was very successful. We usually have more than 6,000 participants online, it's a hybrid, online and actual like 500 and the rest online, to benefit from our strategy meetings, our speeches and impact reports, but also benefiting from 5 important scientific and awareness sessions, which is one addressing diabetes and hypertension, one addressing oncology, one addressing other specialties like 42 different types of specialties mixed together, and one addressing the fertility and embryology under Merck Foundation, more than a mother. And of course, the 5th one, which you are aware of, it's a health media training, where we are educating media from different countries, 35 countries, to how to raise awareness about different topics through their actual work in online newspapers and other things. And I find this very beneficial. So, and above all, we had in all Africa, Professor Frank said 62 for Tanzania, but we have 2,000 scholarships for doctors from 52 countries, from Africa mainly, and then Asia and developing countries. And for media, we trained more than 3,200 media representatives until now from 35 countries. So it is actually, the impact is significant. And this makes happen, did happen with this great success because of our local partnership.
Now, let me take you back to the experience working with the First Ladies of countries like Mozambique, Zimbabwe, and Malawi. What is the experience like? What is the milestone or success stories that have taken place already ever since you've started working with them? And what is the message that they're sending back to their respective countries?
All the work we are doing is only possible if we cooperate with local governments to get the support of the local governments in implementing our programs. And of course, one of the keys to it, to unlock it, is our collaboration with the First Ladies. And the First Ladies, of course, many of them have their own trusts and their own sort of benevolent ideas how to help population during the time they're in the position of power, being a First Lady. So for them, it is in addition to what they're already doing, and in a very structured way. And it is part of the great success we had that we have the support of these First Ladies, and of course the access to ministries, to secretaries of state, to decision makers is much easier if you come by the office of a First Lady. And that is important for us because we want to bring our work into the countries, into the rural communities, and you need the support of the local governments to do this.
Professor, you can still answer this for me, that one of the main contribution of Merck Foundation is to build health care capacity. Where are we in case of Tanzania, just to be precise?
I can tell you, for the exact 1 year, we've got 62 scholarships. That means we help 62 already educated doctors.
We specialized.
To get specialized. That means we're sending them for a 1 year or 2 year course, sometimes online, sometimes a physical course, to India or to Egypt, and they get proper training. And the government normally continues to pay some of the salary because they've got families. That's also one of the reasons why we need to support the local government. But for them, it's important they come back to the country, and not after being specialized as oncologists, for example, then go off to America. We don't want that. We want them to work in the country they're coming from. And if you look at it, some countries, for example, some of which never had any oncologists.
Of course. Sierra Leone, Liberia, Burundi, Congo, many
there's no specialized doctors in these countries.
Yeah.
So for us to open the door for the first time for specialized doctors, and not for the private medical world, but really for the general medical.
Let me tell you also regarding Tanzania doctors, it was also in partnership with the Ministry of Health. He submitted names for us where it is the gaps. And the online, it is with universities, reputable universities in UK. We have South Wales University, we have Cardiff, we have Queen's University, and they get a very good 1 year diploma or 2 year master degree in very important specialties like diabetes and hypertension, endocrinology, pediatric emergency, clinical and medical oncology.
You mean these are the gaps that Tanzania through the ministry?
Exactly.
Okay, highlighted that.
Yes.
These were the gaps.
Yes.
Okay.
But also every Ministry of Health and every First Lady office identifies the gaps in their healthcare system, which especially the public healthcare system, and they send us the doctors that can be enrolled in our scholarships. And as I said, our scholarships is 1 year diploma, 2 year master degree from reputable UK universities, and also complemented by clinical training from 1 year clinical training, which is hands-on training in in India or Egypt. So, and of course, they have to go back and work in the public sector. We are expecting to scale up our program in Tanzania as soon as we receive more applicants that they are willing to and want to get this education. But it's very difficult. It's not easy. But after they graduate, they become top-notch specialists in their fields and fill a huge gap in the public sectors. And we insist that they come from all the provinces of Tanzania, not only from Dar es Salaam, no, but from everywhere in Tanzania. So they can go back to the rural areas, the villages, centers, and make a difference.
You also have a Merck Foundation campaign. This is Merck Foundation More Than a Mother, No to Fertility Stigma. What was the situation like before Merck Foundation took charge in this matter? And of course, what is happening today? What do we talk about today ever since Merck Foundation has gone deep down to the ground level?
It's a specialty.
Yeah. So More Than a Mother, when we started in 2012, it was a big stigma. And women are discriminated, mistreated because they cannot have children, whether they are the cause or not. Men was not admitting at all that can be the cause of infertility. I think even when I started to look for articles about infertility in Africa, I never find any one article. So the media was not also educated how to address this as a stigma. And you always think that a woman who cannot have a child in the right time after 1 year of marriage, this is her problem.
Yeah.
So we changed that totally. And now if you look at infertility and how many journalists writing about infertility is huge. When you look at the specialists of infertility, which was lacking in each country, when I look in any country, I ask where is the local fertility specialist or the local embryologist? There were none in many countries. And if they one or two, they would be only in the capital. So the access to infertility, quality and equitable fertility care was lacking and was almost zero in many countries. So we provided scholarship to almost 600 scholarships in fertility and embryology and sexual reproductive care. And this, of course, will make a difference, huge difference. Because there's some small interventions for women and couples that they can have a happy family, and they have the doctors, they can help them, but also they have the community that they can support them by not stigmatizing them, putting pressure on them. And I'm talking about community, I'm talking about the mother-in-law, the sister-in-law, and all, even your own mother, which putting pressure on them, and the psychological status of the couple is very important to get baby as well.
Very briefly, I don't want to leave this down, but let's talk about the non-communicable diseases, that is diabetes and hypertension. How does Merck Foundation raise awareness concerning this?
Okay. Dr. Rasha developed a fantastic program in how to do it, with picture books, with movies, with education, with trying the first ladies to pass it on into their own environment. So I think you should go more on that, because that's quite interesting. You see that we try to use the tools which I'm not talking about the intelligentsia in Daria, but really into the rural countryside, the simple people, they have to visualize what is happening.
But also have the Blue Point program. What is the Blue Point program? The doctors from each city, Blue Point. We give them a 1 year diploma, 2 year master degree in diabetes management, in cardiovascular preventive, and endocrinology, different. And everyone goes to his country and be able to establish a diabetes clinic, a hypertension clinic, an endocrinology clinic. And this is across the whole country. And we are not going to stop until we see the whole country is blue. Because everyone graduates, it's On the map, it's 1 point, it's blue. So this is very important because also there is awareness. But in addition, like Dr. Frank said, the animation and storybook about youth sugar-free, which from here we are saying no to sugar. Life is sweeter without sugar. Stop sugar totally, because this is cause of all diseases.
It depends on all of us.
For all of us. And of course also we have Mark's pressure. It's about raising awareness about hypertension. And these are two very important non-communicable diseases. We also have a new one coming about oncology and oncology, cancer prevention and early detection. The thing is, it is all languages. So we are translated to Swahili, and we have in English and French and Portuguese. So it can cover all Africa. And it will be posted on school library, online, and in ministries of education and social media. Recently, Prof. Frank, we have done a feedback survey on social media and for school students to see what exactly they learned after they watched the movie. We give them questions. What is the education? What is the early detection? What is the complication? And we get their answers. And the amount of education and awareness they get after they watch the film is amazing. I think it will make huge difference. Not for
We are running out of time, but I have two questions for both of you. But one will start with Professor there. What is your message now concerning Merck Foundation, as you mentioned earlier on, that you want to give back to the community, you want to give back to the society?
Message is very simple. Listen to what we have to say and try to adjust your lifestyle when it comes to diabetes, sugar, hypertension, accordingly, because we do a lot of educational work. So, but of course, people have to do it at the end of the day. So our success is then the success of the people as well. And of course, the continuous support by the government, particularly by the first ladies, in helping us to choose the right doctors, to increase the specialities in their given countries, and of course also to continue to support young girls in particular, to be good mothers and to be educated people to help to further the development of the countries. So it's all about that at the end of the day.
Great. Dr. Rasha Kelej, you are named as the most influential African for almost 5 years, and how does it feel?
It feels very good, but also Merck Foundation has been nominated as the NGO of choice for raising awareness and community awareness specifically in Africa several times. Of course, this is all because our work, Merck Foundation in Africa with their partners are there to make a legacy, to create a legacy of transforming patient care landscape across Africa, to have all people in Africa one day have access to equitable and quality and specialized healthcare solutions, because health plus education is the main factor for any progress, social, economic, and health progress. So, girls' education and our health capacity building, it's a main factor that we are addressing, and we are going to keep addressing with our local partners, our ambassadors, who is the First Lady, the government and the ministries of health, education, gender, and communication. So I hope that everyone who's watching us can benefit also by saying no to infertility stigma, and also yes to girls' education, and no sugar. It's very important.
Agnes, thank you very much for your time, both of you.
No, for giving us the opportunity to pass on our message to a broader public.
Asante sana, and welcome to Tanzania once again.
Asante sana, thank you.
Asante sana, thank you.
Asante. Well, dear viewers, on that note, we have come to the end of our program, The International Sphere. And just remember, today our main topic was pertaining to Merck Foundation, the role of Merck Foundation in African countries, in Tanzania in particular. From me, your host, Agnes Tulinga, thank you very much for being with us. Till next time, it's goodbye.